Hey, welcome. So today we are talking about a huge leap forward in AI. We're moving way beyond the kind of chatbots that just, answer questions. We're talking about a whole new class of software that can actually get things done. We're talking about AI agents.
I mean, think about your day. You know how it is, right? You're copying something from an email, you're pasting it into a spreadsheet, then you're using that to search a website, and then finally, you're putting an event on your calendar. It's just this constant manual shuffle between a dozen different apps.
Well, that is the core promise of an AI agent. We're talking about an autonomous system that can understand a goal and then actually plan and execute all the steps to make it happen, all without you having to guide it at every single turn. Okay, let's really dive into this. So, how do these things actually work? To really get it, we've got to look under the hood. And at their core, every single agent is built on three essential parts that have to work together perfectly. So, first up, you've got the model. And you can just think of this as the brain. This is your large language model, the LLM, that does all the heavy lifting, all the thinking. It's the reasoning engine that processes your request, looks at all the options, and decides, okay, what do we do next? But, of course, a brain by itself can't really do much, can it? It needs a way to actually interact with the world, and that's where tools come in. These are the hands of the agent. Think of these as API connections or database queries, basically anything that lets the agent go beyond what it already knows and take real action, like searching the web or updating a customer's file. And the thing connecting the brain and the hands, the final piece of this puzzle, is the orchestration layer. And if the model is the brain and the tools are the hands, then this is the nervous system. It manages the entire process. It breaks down those big goals into smaller steps, it remembers what's already been done, and it decides, okay, now's the time to think, and now is the time to act. Okay, so we've got the brain, the hands, and the nervous system. Now let's see how these parts come together in this active problem-solving cycle. It really all comes down to a simple but incredibly powerful loop. This is basically the five-step process every agent follows. First, it gets a mission. Let's say, where's my order, #12345. Then it scans the scene. What tools and info does it have? Next, it thinks through a plan. Okay, first, I'll find the order in our database. Then I'll use that tracking number to check the shipping company's API. Then it takes action. It actually uses those tools. And finally, it observes the results and iterates, feeding that new info right back into the loop, until the mission is complete. This quote I found really just sums it up perfectly. It's not a one-and-done kind of thing. It is a relentless loop of thinking, acting, and learning that lets the agent figure out how to navigate really complex situations to get a job done. Now that we know how they work, it's pretty clear that not all agents are created equal. You can kind of think of their power as a ladder, where each rung represents a pretty significant jump in just how capable they are. So let's start at the very bottom, level 0. Here, you've just got a basic language model with no tools. It can tell you all about the history of the Yankees, sure, but it has no idea what last night's score was because that's outside its training data. Now, at level 1, we give it a tool, say a search API. All of a sudden, it can look up the score and give you that real-time answer. Now, level 2, this is where things get really interesting, really strategic. This agent can handle multi-step goals. So if you ask it to find a coffee shop halfway between two addresses, it's not just going to do a simple search. No, it will first use a map tool to find the exact midpoint, and then use that result to search for highly rated coffee shops in that one specific area. It plans and then it executes that plan. And this brings us to the next logical step, a whole team of agents. At level 3, instead of one super agent trying to do everything, you have a project manager agent that delegates tasks to a crew of specialists. So, to launch a new product, it might assign jobs to a market research agent, a marketing copy agent, and a web development agent, and it coordinates all their work to achieve a really complex goal. It's pretty amazing. So, as we climb this ladder of capability, you can see the implications get so much bigger. I mean, what does this all really mean? This isn't just about building smarter software. This is about fundamentally changing how work gets done. And remember, all of this incredible power, from the simplest tool user to a whole team of agents, it's all built on that same three-part blueprint we talked about: the brain, the hands, and the nervous system. This tech also creates a massive paradigm shift for the people who actually build software. The role of a developer is totally changing.
They're no longer a bricklayer, coding every single specific step of a process. Instead, they're becoming more like a director, setting the scene, choosing the right actors, the tools, and then guiding an autonomous AI to perform the task.
And that really gets to the ultimate potential here. As this quote points out so well, we're moving beyond just simple workflow automation. The real goal here is to create systems that can function as genuine partners, as truly collaborative, capable, and adaptable new members of our teams. Which leaves us with a final, really fascinating question to think about. As these agents get more and more sophisticated, are we just building better software? Or are we, in fact, building our future colleagues? Thanks for tuning in.